or 0816 609 2144.
This is
Asking Radio 98.5 FM.
Guide me, just stay beside me. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here with you. You are a rainbow, so I am a lucky man. I am a lucky man. You are my favorite song.
A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. And Women of Speed is that show where we bring you a story to inspire you. We talk about women. And today being Tuesday, the 14th day of July, 2026, we are doing something a little different. The program is called Women of Speed. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself what really makes someone a woman of speed? Is it because she is successful? Is it because she is wealthy? Or is it something much deeper than that? You know, a woman of speed is a woman whose life inspires others. A woman whose story reminds people that kindness still matters, hard work still matters, courage still matters, and that one person can make a difference in the lives of others. She may not be famous, she may not never appear on television, she may not have thousands of followers, but somewhere someone is grateful that she came into their life. Perhaps she's the mother who raised her children alone, maybe after losing her husband, and refused to let them give up on education. Or perhaps she's a trader who wakes up every day, works honestly, and has trained all her children through school with the little she earns. I know a woman like that who only gets to say, more, and then she has trained so many of her children in school just with that same business. Maybe she's a teacher whose words of encouragement give a struggling student the confidence to believe in themselves. Maybe she's a nurse who treats every patient with compassion and reminds people that kindness is also a form of healing. Maybe she's a businesswoman who started with a very small shop but never gave up, and today she's creating opportunities for other people. or maybe she's simply that neighbor everyone knows they can count on, the woman who quietly helps people, gives wise advice, or whose stories just inspires other persons. Sometimes a woman of speed could be your mother, it could be your grandmother, maybe whose wisdom or the way that she was able to take care of you and she was able to bring you and your siblings up, or it could be you yourself, because that is one part that most women actually forget about when they are showing appreciation. So okay, the women that have been in my life, what about you? Maybe the struggles, what you have been able to achieve for yourself, maybe starting from your education and then coming out even from education, starting a business, or even pursuing a career, facing challenges and still becoming something for yourself today. That makes you a woman of speed. Sometimes she could be your sister who sacrificed her own comfort so that you could succeed. Sometimes even your wife. Maybe there is a certain way that your wife handles business, or does something, the way she's able to take care of the family, and you just keep wondering, how does one person actually have this kind of strength? And sometimes maybe a strength. Every woman has a story, and every story has the power to inspire someone else. So today on the Women of Speed, who is what does it actually mean to be a woman of speed? We have mentioned all of these things. So tell me, are you a woman of speed? Do you know someone, maybe your mom, who is a woman of speed? What has she done that has left a lasting impact in your life or on the lives of other people around her that makes you to think of her as a woman of speed? Now the number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That's 090 3648 5868. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and my name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. So you can watch live on Facebook and even leave a comment if you have something to say. Tell us about your own story. Tell us about maybe another woman's story and how it has actually impacted your life, because maybe it's possible that growing up you just saw it as something small that your mom was doing, maybe the way she was able to handle her work and even handle you people at home, all the troubles carrying the family. Some persons even maybe end up maybe losing their husbands, but the way they were able to keep everything together, you just look at it and say, oh, my mom has really done a lot. Or the way my sister is able to take care of us, because there are people like that, that it's just their sisters, their everything, that sister becomes a second mother or even the only mother they have ever known. Hello? All right, you can still call us back. It's 090 3648 5868. That's 090 3648 5868. Call in and be part of the show. Tell us, are you a woman of speed, or do you know a woman of speed? Is it your mom? Is it your sister? Is it your grandma? Is it your stepmom? Is it maybe even a woman that just said something that inspired you, or maybe the way that she did something, the way that she was handling a particular business, the way that she was handling her family, it just made everything look so easy. Like you look at her and then you get inspired. You can share that with us today on Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And my name is Marysyntia Hangeior. So call in and be part of the show. And don't forget, we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. So you can watch live on Facebook and even leave a comment if you have something to say. Who is your woman of speed, or are you a woman of speed? Hello? Hello? All right, keep trying, and just maybe you would catch up with us and tell us, if you're that woman of speed, what would you even say to inspire someone else about your own story, about yourself? Or if you've been with a woman of speed, it could be your wife. Actually, you look at your wife, you admire the things that she does, you admire, you keep wondering. I heard someone ask a question sometime. Hello? All right, you can still call back. I heard someone ask a question sometime about I wonder how my wife is actually able to save the ways that I am not able to do. Maybe because she's a woman of speed, that's why she's doing something like that so easily, and then you are wondering how she's actually able to handle maybe the kind of things that you felt. There are sometimes that you feel like it's impossible for someone to actually do this, but then you turn and look at your mother, like, can anyone ever be like your mom? Can anyone ever be like this woman? Because she is the only person you have seen doing these kind of things. Or it could even be you yourself in your journey, maybe facing challenges, whether it comes to the opportunities you have been looking for in life, maybe even in your profession, but then you have been facing those challenges and then moving forward. What story would you actually share about yourself or that woman of speed to inspire others? Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That's 090 3648 5868. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And my name is Marysyntia Hangeior with you on the show this afternoon. So you can call in and share with us your woman of speed, and if it's yourself, tell us what story about yourself you can actually use to inspire other people. Now, one beautiful thing about inspiration is that it often comes from even ordinary moments. Sometimes it isn't even a big speech or maybe even a grand achievement. It's maybe watching your mother refuse to give up when times were difficult, or it's seeing a woman remain honest even when dishonesty would never have been easier. It's maybe even watching someone continue to smile, watching someone continue to handle responsibilities, even serve community despite her own challenges. It's more like maybe this person just sacrificing her own life and then maybe take it as a duty to do some of these things for you. And at a point, even as children, it's easy to actually take that for granted until you grow up and you look at it. This is not something easy to do, but then the children were watching at that time, the neighbors are watching, you yourself can be watching one, or you yourself can say to yourself, like, what I am doing, it's not actually something easy. And so once again, we would like to hear from you. Who is your woman of speed, or are you a woman of speed? Do you show this kind of strength, things that you feel it's worthy enough for you to say you are a woman of speed? Hello. All right, well, you can still call back. It's 090 3648 5868. That's 090 3648 5868. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And my name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and this afternoon on the show we are talking about what it actually means to be a woman of speed. So from all the things you have mentioned, or even things that we have not even mentioned, maybe I might not have mentioned, you are the person who sees that strength, maybe even in yourself as a woman or other women around you, maybe the way that you are handling your business, the kind of maybe mind you have to have, the way that you are strong-hearted, you have to actually be able to push forward with certain things that you are doing, or maybe watch others around you, other women around you actually do it, then you are a woman of speed. So tell us your story and maybe inspire someone else who wants to do something and then they just need some of those words to actually push them to go forward. Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That's 090 3648 5868. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And we are asking you to call in and share with us your woman of speed. And if it's you yourself, do not be afraid to say that, because most of the time people do things and then forget to even recognize the ones that they are actually doing, like their own self, and then recognize their own strengths, how they have been able to push forward, and then even the impacts that they have in other people's life. Or sometimes you don't even know that you're an inspiration to someone else, but you can be an inspiration to yourself actually. Hello. All right, you can still call us back and be part of the show. Or sometimes, like I said, you can even be an inspiration to yourself. Even the things that you thought you could not do, maybe it could even be a point of chasing an opportunity. You have always wanted to become maybe a seamstress. You wanted to become a fashion designer, but then starting out, maybe at first it was getting money to get a shop for yourself, and then when you finally got that shop, it was getting money to maybe get a machine, whatever order it actually comes in. And then when you got that, it was looking for customers. It was maybe your patience to actually hold that together and then pull through, like waiting for time where people even start recognizing you. Because I heard a story from someone last time on the show, where she said that one of her challenges, even in her career path, what she's doing is like getting people to even trust her and know that, okay, this is what she does, and then put their own trust. So that alone can be a challenge that will make someone else to just maybe step back and then not do it. And then there are some women who, for them, it's like combining both work and career. We know that these things are not easy. If you are a child watching your parents actually your mom actually do something like this, you might think, well, it's mom life and then it's easy. But then growing up, you get to realize just how much strength and patience it actually takes to become that kind of woman. So whose story are you going to share this afternoon on Women of Speed? Is it your story, or is it another woman in your life that you would like to share with us? Who knows, it might inspire someone else. Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That's 090 3648 5868. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And my name is Marysyntia Hangeior. We are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. So you can watch live on Facebook and even share and even leave a comment if you have something to say. And one thing I've noticed is that when people hear the word inspiration, they often think of maybe someone has to be rich or famous before they can even inspire others. But that's not always true. Hello? All right, you can still call us back. They often think maybe someone has to be rich or famous before they can even inspire others, but that's not always true. Some of the most inspiring women are people who choose whose names may never even appear even when it comes to television, or maybe people that you may never even get to hear maybe on other spaces, but then they are doing some of the things that they are doing silently. So you can call in and share who that woman is to you, or sometimes it could even be yourself. Hello? All right, you can still call us back. And we are also streaming live on Facebook. If you're trying to call in and cannot catch up with us, you can watch live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi, and even leave a comment if you have something to say. Who is your own woman of speed, or are you that woman of speed yourself? What are the things that you actually do and you feel like it inspires someone else? You are able to do it so effortlessly that you feel like, well, this is something inspiring, or this is something that takes strength. And I would say that no one should actually be afraid to even recognize their own selves, because some of the things that you may say, this is something little, and then it's something that anyone can actually do. If you look around you, then it's not everyone that is actually doing that. So are you a woman of speed, or is someone close to you, maybe your mom, maybe your auntie, maybe your sister, it could even be a neighbor, is that person a woman of speed? You can call in and share with us. And we've been having if you've been having difficulty reaching us, maybe because of network, let's try with some other lines. So now you can reach us on 08084 asking. That's 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and my name is Marysyntia Hangeior. And this afternoon on the show, we are asking you, if you are a woman of speed, share your story to inspire someone else. Or if you know someone that is actually a woman of speed, with the things that the person does, with the way that she acts as a woman, or even her lifestyle. There are sometimes that you look at someone else's lifestyle and you are like, well, this is a woman that I actually get inspiration from, like the way that she does the things that she does, or maybe it could be the way that she carries herself. The confidence that you are able to see from that woman is something that inspires you to live the way that you are living. And sometimes maybe someone gets an advice from a woman, and that is something that maybe takes them to become something in life. There was a time like that we did something, or maybe women sharing stories from other women that actually inspired them to become something. And a lot of people said, things like, well, I used to watch this particular woman handle things like this in her business. I used to watch this particular woman, the way that she was able to handle it. And there are sometimes that people get maybe married or get their own children, and then they start to complain like, I wonder how my mom was doing something like this, and now that it's my turn, I'm actually finding it difficult. And it just makes you realize how it was for her, and then the kind of strength that she'd actually used to do what she was doing. So you can call in and be part of the show, and it's 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. And I'll take the number again. You can call in and share your own story, or maybe that woman of speed in your life. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear your story as a woman of speed, or a woman of speed in your life. You can call in and then let even show that you are able to recognize that strength or resilience or patience, whatever you see in that person. You can call in and then let us hear that story. One of the beautiful things about life is that inspiration often comes from people that we least expect. Sometimes we spend so much time admiring people from a distance, that we forget to appreciate the remarkable women who are right in front of us every day. A woman of speed doesn't have to be someone who has achieved everything in life. Sometimes she's still working towards achieving those things, right? Hello? Sometimes she's still working towards achieving those things. Hello? Hello? All right, you can still call us back to be part of the show. It's 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I am your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and this afternoon we are asking you, are you a woman of speed? Share a story about yourself to inspire other people the way that you do what you do, or maybe a story about another woman that inspired you. Maybe you know a woman that has been an inspiration to you, maybe to do some of the things, maybe to even start a particular business, to do the work that you are doing right now. You can call in and share with us on 0808 427 5464. Hello? All right, keep trying, and just maybe you will catch up with us. And we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. So you can watch live on Facebook and even leave a comment if you have something to say. Who is your woman of speed? Or are you a woman of speed, yourself, and you want to share your story to actually inspire someone else? You can call in and share that story, or even comments live on Facebook and let people know what you are actually doing. And she may be someone who refuses to give up despite setbacks. There are people here, even on the show, that have shared stories, of them, how maybe failing examination to get into a particular career line and then do something for themselves, but then they kept failing. Maybe even when it came to the WAEC or examinations to get into those higher institutions, the different levels, and then they were failing several times, but then one time they were able to do it. Some people were not even able to excel in spaces like that, but then they still decided to make something out for themselves, right? To do something for themselves. She may be someone who always chooses kindness, even when life has not always been kind to her. There are people like that. You say, oh, this woman is a widow, but how can she be so kind to other people? How can she be so welcoming, even though she has her challenges by herself? So call in and be part of the show on 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Hello? All right, keep trying, and just maybe you catch up with her. Think about the woman in your own life. Is there someone whose work ethic has always impressed you? Even though you might not have said it to them, but then you just look at them and you're like, okay, I find it very inspiring, and then this is how I want to be. Sometimes you look at it and be, I wish I was half as good as my mom was, or as my auntie was, or as my sister was or is. There are some people that you look at, maybe someone who taught you the values that you actually know today, because sometime ago we did something about motherhood and then the things that we even instill in children, and a lot of persons have things to say like, okay, my mom taught me this, it was my mom that taught me honesty, it was my big sister that taught me honesty, because sometimes it's not only the birth mom that is the mother to that child. Sometimes there are people who play that figure in a child's life, and then they are able to create such an impact that child lives on with and then never departs from it. Or maybe someone who showed you that no job is too small to be done with dignity. Sometimes we don't even realize how much a person's influence has shaped us until we stop and then think about it. Maybe the confidence you have today, the values you live by, or even the career you chose may have been influenced by a woman who simply lived her life with purpose. So who is your woman of speed, or are you a woman of speed yourself? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And my name is Marysyntia Hangeior with you on the show this afternoon. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name?
My name is Louis.
All right. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Makurdi.
All right. So who is your woman of speed?
And I want to... The woman of my speed is... her name is Sewese Mercy.
Okay, Sewese. And who is she to you?
She's my proprietress. I'm working as a staff in her school.
Oh, okay. You're proprietors.
Yes.
So what exactly does she do? Maybe is it the way that she does her work, or some kind of encouragement that she gives to you? What about her inspires you?
A lot inspired me about her. Like the way she managed and the way she do her things. I admire her a lot because it gives me motivation. And at times I say, I wish this one was my mother, something like this. And actually, I call her mom because it's like my mother, because it helps me a lot in some other ways. I come to her, like in terms of needs, she do support me and she do advise me, tell me what, and it helps me a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So when next you see that woman, Louis, your proprietor, I hope you're able to tell her that she's a woman of speed.
Yes, I can.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in to be part of the show. You also can call in and share your story with us. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And my name is Marysyntia Hangeior with you on the show this afternoon. We are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makurdi. So you can watch live on Facebook and even leave a comment. Tell us, are you a woman of speed? Are you proud of maybe how far you have come yourself? Maybe you grew up and then became someone who is able to hold her home together, or someone who is able to hold a business together, someone who pursued her career until it became something that you are so proud of today. Or was it your mom? Was it your sister? Was it your proprietors? Just like Louis shared the story, sometimes you look at those people and you be like, what relation can I possibly have with this person? But then she turns out to be someone who inspires you. Someone once shared a story about a woman who used to sell charcoal just behind his house, and that woman turned out to be like an inspiration to him, because she was always there, there is no single day that she said, okay, today is a day that I am not going to maybe come out and then sell my charcoal. It was just something like charcoal, but then she took it so seriously. But then we have people that will look down on things and say, well, this one is just charcoal, why am I even stressing myself? But that woman was someone that he found inspiring because she always showed up for her business. So what about you? Who is your woman of speed, or are you a woman of speed yourself? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and we are talking about women of speed themselves. So call in and share that story to inspire someone else. And sometimes we don't realize that we are watching greatness while it's happening. We think inspiring others must do something extraordinary, but often it's the little things, they do consistently and then leave the biggest impact. Maybe it's the woman who always keeps her word, because sometimes you find the person like that. This person says, I must do this thing, and then she sees to it that actually happens. She doesn't just give up. If she promises something, she does everything she can to make sure that promise actually comes to pass. Maybe it's a woman who never stops learning, no matter her age, because these days it's more like we have a certain expectation for people that are supposed to maybe be in school, but then you see a woman who is still in school. My university days, there were women like that. Some of them even had children, and then a specific classmate of mine will come to class, with her child, and people will ask questions like, why don't you just stop? I mean, you already have a husband and he is taking care of you and he is doing this, but still you're carrying this child along, and then you still want to be in school. She did not stop. She was there, and we all graduated together because she knew what she wanted, and then she was going for it. She refused to give up. Another may inspire you to be patient. Another may inspire you to become more confident. Another may teach you even the importance of forgiveness. Sometimes someone, a random woman, even gives you an advice, and then it turns out to be something that has great impact in your life. So who is your woman of speed? You can still call in and be part of the show. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. We are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. So you can watch live on Facebook and even leave a comment if you have something to say. Share with us who your woman of speed is, or even if it's you yourself. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Hello?
What's your name?
My name is Adona.
Oh, Adona, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Makodi.
All right, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Go on. Who is your woman of speed?
There's more than one woman.
Okay,
there's
go
more
on.
Than one woman. First, my mother. Mrs. William Pate. Then there's Mrs. Lydia Say.
Okay.
There's Mrs. Rosemary Waku. And there's Mrs. Tambadon Akulega.
Okay.
And then there's Mrs. Margaret Kwebe.
So whose story would you like to share?
Oh, they have similar stories. So I'm going to say one thing and it covers all of them. But I'll use my mom.
Okay.
I'm an administrator at the Joseph Sawan Ataka University. And I started at a very low rank, and I rose through the ranks to a very senior level. And this woman trained me. My mother in the home front, the other women in the office.
Okay.
They taught me integrity of administration in the workplace. Right?
Yes.
These women gave their all. They would work extra. They always had extra. For instance, it's going to be, I'll use the university now, there's going to be a convocation or matriculation. This is say we wake up by 5:30 and be at the venue where all the events will take place and ensure that everything was done right. The decor is on, the staff are working with our money. not waiting to be paid, not waiting to be given an incentive. And then she protected her subordinate staff to a level that if you ever made a mistake and the system was coming for you, she would take responsibility for it and think that I should be queried or I should take the fall for this. I'm the boss. I should have supervised. I delegated. I failed to supervise. I failed to oversee. So it is my fault. You won't let the system come for you. And she was honest in all her dealings. She didn't collect money from anybody. She didn't encourage us to do that. And she was always of service. For instance, in admissions, if you ever applied to the University of Agriculture and you didn't have enough marks for the course you applied for, we didn't throw you out. She will make sure she finds a way to give you a course. Okay. So every person during that period and even now that ever applied to our university, if, for instance, you applied for engineering and we're not able to give you engineering, they will give you industrial physics, which is close. Okay. You know, most of them all of them are retired now. And then my foster mother, Pastor Mrs. Rhoda Gang, I followed in her footsteps in administration. They worked, in all the dealings with people at home, in the office, in the church, in the market, with relations and everything. They showed me integrity. They showed me service. They taught me humility. And one cardinal point all women taught me was that in whatever you're doing, do it as unto the Lord. Don't be waiting for one. So those are my women of speed. Thank you.
So are you a woman of speed yourself? Because you mentioned rising from a low rank and then you are where you are today.
Yeah, by the mercies of God, I think I can say that because I'm following in their footsteps.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in to be part of the show. All right. It's Woman of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And my name is Marysyntia Hangeior with you on the show this afternoon. You also can call in and be part of the show. It's 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. Share a story to inspire another woman. Share a story about yourself as a woman of speed or someone else you know who is a woman of speed. You can share those stories with us. And we heard from Eduna, and she herself is a woman of speed. And you know, one thing that's made me so happy was that even at the very last, even though she used herself as an example, I was able to go from this one, she didn't actually say, well, she is the one of speed. She was able to recognize the people who actually instilled the values or some of the things that she know: integrity, dealings with people, service, humility. She was able to mention them all, and then how they actually impacted her life, the ways that they actually behaved that made her to actually get some of those values that she has today. And I like that she herself is a woman of speed, because moving from one place to another, you know, no matter how much support you have, if you yourself are not willing, then you might not be able to grow, because some persons may have those people around them, those kind of support, the same kind of support that Eduna had, but then they might not be able to grow because they themselves are not determined, or maybe they haven't put their mind, they haven't set their minds to actually achieve something or to do whatever it is that they want to do. So you also can call in and be part of the show. Tell us, are you a woman of speed, or do you know a woman of speed? Share her story with us on 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. You can call in and share your story with us quickly before we go, or the story of another woman who you would consider a woman of speed. Who did we say a woman of speed was? Well, it depends on the situation. It could be a mom, you know, who is trying so much to hold her family together, to take care of the children. It could be your maybe your mom that took care of you right from where you were younger up to the point that you grew up. Maybe the patience that she had facing challenges and then still smiling, so that you, her child, doesn't have to maybe feel any kind of pain, or the things that she protected you from. It could be yourself, what you're actually doing now. That is one thing that we would also always encourage. Like, recognize yourself. What you're doing is not actually small. You just have to hold your shoulders, match your shoulders up to what you are doing and say, okay, this is something great. Not everyone can easily do something like this, or even if it's not big yet, I am not a name that everyone knows yet. Well, I am actually doing something for myself, or I am actually keeping it together. I am moving forward. It takes strength to be able to do what I am doing. That makes you a woman of speed. And that is it for the show today. I have been your host. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and we have been talking about what it means to be a woman of speed. And I hope that someone's story was able to inspire you. The ones that talked about, the ones that called. I hope that someone's story was able to inspire you. And make sure you work towards, maybe even you yourself, sharing your story someday as a woman of speed. And well, coming up next at 3:55 p.m. if today is your birthday, then Speedy Kids are going to be wishing you a happy birthday. And also up next at 4 p.m, the Speed Lane comes on right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And until then, keep enjoying music of your life.
This is
Asking Radio 98.5 FM.